Hi, I'm Duncan McRae, Chief Editor at TechForge, and today we're joined by Emilia A'Bell, Chief Revenue Officer at Platform9. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, thanks for having me.
So, edge computing, what's going on with edge computing these days? What are the latest trends?
Well, what we're seeing is that there's definitely a hype around edge computing, and there's a desire to do the compute at the location of where the data is being generated. So the big question is if you have a look at the edge location, it's where the data is generated, it's stored, and it's processed. And the big question is there a latency issue that is requiring the processing to be done at that location, or is it more a privacy issue that requires the data to stay there?
So, would you say that edge computing is critical for businesses now, or why?
Well, it depends on what it is. So if you take retail as an example, in-store compute is critical. It's not effective to have internet connection that is down and then you can't run your POS machine, for example. So it's very much dependent on the application. And it's also very much dependent on, we talked about it a little earlier, the latency issue. If you've got AI/ML operations and latency is a massive issue and you need the response real time here now, you can't afford to have the processing and the data being transferred and then having the delay.
So you mentioned latency, response time. Are there any other benefits to remote operations?
Remote operations is very important actually. By having remote operations, you can manage a massively distributed infrastructure of thousands of stores or thousands of locations or thousands of devices in a consistent way with the appropriate governance.
Okay, and Platform9, how do you guys enable zero-touch remote operations?
That's a very important piece of it. So zero-touch means that a server would be deployed to an edge location, and then you do not need a truck roll of people or technologies to come to provision, to upgrade, to restore, etc. So the way that we do it is that we allow for a server to be delivered through UPS. You don't need anything more fancy than UPS or FedEx. And anyone would plug it into the wall for power and for a network connectivity. Once it's connected to the internet, we can access it and then download an agent, download the image, and then start provisioning the layers of that right up to the application. And so where is that important? If you've got tens of thousands of edge locations, you can't afford to have tens of thousands of truck rolls. It's number one, costly. It's often difficult to find the technical skills that you need in those locations, and it's disruptive to the location potentially. If you're in a retail store and you have a truck roll and some technical people coming into the store to do things, that's disruptive. So zero touch is extremely important, and it's not very easy to do actually.
Are there any specific use cases or applications you've seen that you could maybe share with us?
Sure. So we have a particular customer who runs, they're in the retail, hospitality, restaurant business, and they have tens of thousands of stores across the United States and many more globally. And they're running live with us in 2,500 stores, and their plan is to scale up to 10,000 stores within a year, or actually 16,000 stores within a year, and you can't do that without zero touch.
Okay. Now, you need to get your crystal ball out for this one. What does the future have in store for edge computing?
What do you think?
Yeah,
that's a tough one, and you asked me that earlier and I just went, geez. I think what we're seeing is a prolific adoption of AI/ML, and so we are seeing more sophisticated applications and workloads run at the edge locations. Retail's a great example of one. One of my colleagues talked about a use case where you would walk in and have your facial recognition would be taken at a cosmetic store, and then based on the skin colors and different features of your face, there would be the AI/ML algorithms would recommend different makeup uses, and you can see it there. Those sorts of applications, more sophisticated applications, are definitely happening.
Okay, so now you've told us what's going to happen in the future. What kind of role do you think platforms like Platform9 will play in that future?
Yeah, so Platform9 and systems such as ours allows the business to focus on the applications that generate business. It allows the business to focus on valuable effort. We provide you the cloud at the edge locations or anywhere actually, and we just allow you, the business, to consume the cloud. We'll look after that. We'll make sure it's running. We'll assure that it's operational and providing the performance required. And you can focus on developing and innovating against customer demand.
Great. Well, Emilia, thanks for talking to us today, and good luck with everything.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Cheers.